Stop saving money, seriously. If you're sitting there with a savings account earning 0.1% interest while inflation is eating 3% of your purchasing power every single year, you aren't being responsible. You are slowly bleeding to death. You have been lied to your entire life. You were told that if you skipped the latte, clipped coupons, and put your pennies in a piggy bank, you would eventually be rich. That is a lie designed to keep you in the middle class. The reason you are still poor isn't because you buy Starbucks. It's because you are playing a game of wealth with a rulebook written for laborers. Today, we are burning that rulebook. In 2002, a man named Michael won $15 million in the lottery. He was a garbage man, a regular guy who suddenly had more money than he could spend in 10 lifetimes. He bought the mansion. He bought the Ferraris. He gave millions to friends and family. It sounds like the dream, right? 5 years later, Michael was back to working as a garbage man. He didn't just spend the interest, he incinerated the principal. He didn't lose the money because he was stupid. He lost it because he was poor. Not poor in his bank account, but poor in his mind. And until you fix the poverty mindset that is hardwired into your brain, winning the lottery wouldn't save you either. Do you hate rich people? Be honest. When you see a guy drive past in a Lamborghini, what is your first instinct? Do you think, wow, good for him, I wonder how he built that business? Or do you think, what a jerk, I bet he inherited that money, I bet he cheated people to get it? If you answered with the second one, congratulations, you have just identified the exact psychological barrier that guarantees you will never be the person in that car. You cannot become what you resent. And today, we are going to perform surgery on your belief system to remove the mental blocks that are actively repelling money from your life. Most people think that money is math. They think that wealth is a spreadsheet. They believe that if they just understood the difference between a Roth IRA and a 401k, or if they just found the right crypto coin to buy at the right time, their financial problems would evaporate. But money is not math. Money is psychology. Money is behavior. Money is a mirror that reflects your insecurities, your ego, your patience, and your view of the world. You can give a financial genius a broken mindset and they will go bankrupt. You can give a janitor a wealthy mindset and they will die a millionaire. This happens every single day. We see high-income earners, doctors, lawyers, investment bankers living paycheck to paycheck, drowning in debt, stressed out of their minds. And we see teachers and librarians retiring with millions in the bank. The difference isn't the income. The difference is the psychology. The hardest financial skill is getting the goalpost to stop moving. This is the first trap of the poor mindset, the inability to define enough. Modern capitalism is excellent at two things, generating wealth and generating envy. The system is designed to make you feel inadequate. No matter how much you earn, there is always someone earning more. No matter what car you drive, there is always a newer model. If you cannot define what enough looks like for you, you will never be wealthy. You will just be a hamster running faster and faster on a wheel that never stops. The poor mindset believes that wealth is a number. If I had $1 million, I'd be rich. But when they get $1 million, they look around and see their neighbors have $2 million. Suddenly, they feel poor again. True wealth is the ability to wake up in the morning and say, I can do whatever I want today. That is the highest dividend money pays. It's not the Ferrari, it's the freedom. But you will never have freedom if your ego drives your spending. Let's talk about the man in the car paradox. This is a psychological glitch that keeps millions of people broke. When you see someone driving a nice car, rarely do you think, wow, the guy driving that car is cool. Instead, you think, wow, if I had that car, people would think I am cool. Do you see the disconnect? You don't care about the person, you care about the object. But you assume that if you bought the object, people would care about you. They won't. They will just look at the car and imagine themselves in it. People spend money they don't have to buy things they don't need to impress people they don't even like. This is the poverty cycle. You are trading your future freedom for current status. And status is a depreciating asset. When you buy a luxury car on credit, you are signaling to the world that you are rich. But in reality, you are poorer than you were 5 minutes ago. You have taken on debt. You have increased your monthly liabilities. You have decreased your cash flow. You have created the appearance of wealth by destroying actual wealth. Rich people, truly rich people, not the ones flashing cash on Instagram, understand the difference between being rich and being wealthy. Rich is a high income. It's the guy making $500,000 a year and spending $500,000 a year. That guy is rich, but he is broke. He is on a treadmill. If he stops running, he falls off. Wealthy is hidden. Wealth is the money you didn't spend. Wealth is the nice car not purchased, the diamonds not bought, the watches not worn. Wealth is assets in the bank that haven't yet been converted into the stuff you see. This is why it is so hard for people to learn from the wealthy, because wealth is invisible. You can't see someone's brokerage account. You can't see their real estate equity. You only see what they spend, so we imitate the spending, thinking that is what makes them rich, when in reality, the spending is the very thing preventing us from becoming them. Let's dig deeper into the concept of time horizon. This is the single biggest differentiator between the poor and the wealthy. Poverty forces you to think in the short term. When you are struggling to eat, you can't think about 5 years from now. You are thinking about 5 minutes from now. You are thinking about Friday's paycheck. This is survival mode. But the problem is that many people stay in survival mode even after they have escaped poverty. They continue to make decisions based on immediate gratification. A poor mindset asks, how much does this cost per month? A wealthy mindset asks, how much does this cost in total and what is the opportunity cost? When you go to a car dealership, the salesperson will manipulate your short-term thinking. They will ask, what monthly payment can you afford? If you answer that question, you have already lost, because they can make any car fit your monthly payment by extending the loan to 84 months or 96 months. You walk out driving a brand new truck thinking you won, but you just signed up for 7 years of debt. You mortgaged your future for a shiny toy today. The wealthy mindset plays the long game. They understand the power of compounding. Compounding is not intuitive. The human brain is built to understand linear growth. If I take 10 steps, I move 10 meters. If I take 20 steps, I move 20 meters. That is linear. Compounding is exponential. If I take 30 linear steps, I am 30 meters away. If I take 30 exponential steps where each step is double the length of the previous one, do you know how far I travel? I would go around the earth 26 times. Warren Buffett is the greatest investor of all time. But 99% of his net worth was earned after his 50th birthday. If he had retired at 60, you would never have heard of him. His secret wasn't that he was a genius stock picker, though he is. His secret was that he has been investing for 3/4 of a century. You don't need to be a genius, you just need to be patient, but patience is painful. The psychology of money demands that you suffer through boredom. Good investing is boring, it is watching paint dry. If you are excited about your investments, you are probably gambling. And this brings us to the seduction of pessimism. Optimism sounds like a sales pitch. Pessimism sounds like someone trying to help you. If I tell you that the world is getting better, that technology is solving problems, and that the stock market will go up over the next 20 years, I sound naive. But if I tell you that the economy is about to collapse, that the dollar is going to zero, and that the government is corrupt, I sound smart. I sound like I know something you don't. Pessimism is intellectually seductive. It commands your attention because we are evolved to survive. We are wired to look for threats. But in the world of money, pessimists sound smart while optimists make money. Look at the last 100 years. We have had World War II, the Cold War, the dot-com bubble, the 2008 financial crisis, a global pandemic, and massive inflation. If you listened to the pessimists during any of those events, you sold your stocks. You hoarded gold. You hid cash under your mattress. And you missed out on the greatest creation of wealth in human history. The market has crashed many times, but every single time, 100% of the time, it has recovered and gone on to reach new highs. Betting against human innovation and the global economy has always been a losing bet in the long run. The poor mindset looks for reasons why it won't work. Investing is rigged. The little guy can't win. This is a defense mechanism. If you believe the game is rigged, you don't have to play. And if you don't play, you don't have to feel bad about losing. It protects your ego, but it destroys your wallet. The wealthy mindset accepts that there will be downturns. They know that volatility is the price of admission. Think of the stock market like a fee, not a fine. If you get a speeding ticket, that is a fine. It means you did something wrong. If you buy a ticket to Disneyland, that is a fee. It is the price you pay for the experience. When the market drops 20%, the poor mindset thinks they are being fined. They think they made a mistake, they panic and sell. The wealthy mindset views that 20% drop as the entrance fee. It is the cost of earning superior returns over the long run. If you aren't willing to pay the fee, you don't get to ride the ride. Now let's address the most toxic psychological trap of all, victimhood versus agency. It is very popular right now to blame external forces for your financial situation. And to be fair, there are external forces. The economy is tough, housing is expensive, wages have stagnated. These are real challenges. But dwelling on them keeps you poor. If you believe that your financial destiny is entirely in the hands of the government or your boss or the economy, you surrender your power. You become a passenger in your own life. The wealthy mindset focuses on what can be controlled. You cannot control inflation, you can control your spending. You cannot control the housing market, you can control your skills and your income. You cannot control interest rates, you can control your debt. Complaining is not a strategy. It feels good, it vents frustration, but it solves nothing. The moment you take 100% responsibility for your financial life is the moment you become wealthy, even if you're starting from zero, even if you're starting with debt. The shift in psychology from the world is doing this to me to I'm going to figure this out changes everything. Let's talk about the sunk cost fallacy. This traps people in bad careers, bad investments, and bad money habits. The sunk cost fallacy is when you continue doing something just because you have already invested time or money into it. I can't sell this stock now, I'm down 50%. Yes, you can. The market doesn't care what you bought it for. The market doesn't know you own it. If you wouldn't buy it today at the current price, you shouldn't hold it. I can't change careers. I spent 4 years in college for this degree. That time is gone, it's spent. You can't get it back. Continuing to be miserable for the next 30 years won't bring those 4 years back, it just wastes the next 30. Rich people are ruthless about cutting losses. They don't throw good money after bad. If something isn't working, they pivot. Poor people hold on to mistakes, hoping that if they just hold on long enough, they will be vindicated. Another massive psychological barrier is loss aversion. Psychologically, the pain of losing $100 is twice as powerful as the pleasure of gaining $100. This fear of loss paralyzes people. It keeps them in savings accounts. It keeps them from starting businesses. It keeps them in dead-end jobs. They are so afraid of losing a little bit that they guarantee they will lose everything to inflation and missed opportunity. You have to reframe risk. The biggest risk is not taking one. The biggest risk is waking up at 65, realizing you worked your entire life for safety and you still ended up broke because you never let your money work for you. Let's move to the concept of social capital versus financial capital. Poor people try to impress others with money. Wealthy people impress others with competence. When you are insecure about your standing in the hierarchy, you use brands to shield yourself. You wear the Gucci belt, you carry the Louis Vuitton bag, you are screaming, "Look at me, I have value." But real value comes from what you can produce, not what you can consume. If you focus your psychology on becoming valuable, on learning skills, on solving problems, on being reliable, the money follows. Money is simply a receipt of value provided to the world. If you want more money, provide more value. Don't chase money, chase problems. If you can solve a problem for 1,000,000 people, you will be a millionaire. If you can solve a problem for one person, you will earn a wage. The scale of the problem determines the scale of the wealth. But you can't solve problems if you are obsessed with yourself. The poor mindset is self-obsessed. I need this, I want that, why isn't this happening for me? The wealthy mindset is others-obsessed. What do they need? How can I help them? Where is the friction in their lives? It is paradoxical, but the more you focus on helping others get what they want, the more you will get what you want. Finally, we need to talk about your financial identity. We all have a script running in our heads. I'm not good with money. People like us don't get rich. Money is the root of all evil. These scripts are usually planted in childhood. Maybe you heard your parents fighting about bills. Maybe you were told that rich people are greedy. These scripts become self-fulfilling prophecies. If you believe money is evil, you will subconsciously sabotage yourself every time you get some, because you don't want to be evil. If you believe you are bad with money, you won't bother learning how to invest, because what's the point? You have to rewrite the script. Money is neutral, it is a tool like a hammer. You can use a hammer to build a house, or you can use a hammer to break a window. The hammer isn't evil, the hammer isn't good. The hammer just amplifies the intention of the person holding it. If you are a good person, having more money will make you a better person. You can give more, you can help more, you can create more. If you are a bad person, money will make you a worse person. You can destroy more. Stop fearing the tool, learn to use it. So how do we fix this? How do we break the psychology of poverty? First, automate everything. Willpower is a finite resource. If you rely on willpower to save money, you will fail. You are fighting against an army of PhDs and supercomputers at Amazon, Google, and Apple who are designed to extract money from you. You cannot out-willpower them. So remove the decision. Set up automatic transfers. The day you get paid, money should instantly move to your investment accounts. It should disappear before you even see it. If you don't see it, you won't spend it. You will learn to live on what is left over. This is called paying yourself first. Most people pay the landlord, the credit card company, the grocer, and the gas station, and then save what is left. But there is never anything left. Flip the equation, pay yourself first, invest, then live on the rest. Second, change your environment. You are the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with. If your friends are constantly spending money, complaining about being broke, and making bad financial decisions, you will do the same. Humans are herd animals. We mimic our tribe. You don't have to dump your friends, but you need to curate your inputs. Listen to podcasts about business. Read books about investing. Follow people on social media who are talking about ideas, not just flexing lifestyle. Normalize wealth in your brain. Make it seem achievable because it is. Third, practice financial mindfulness. Before you buy something, pause. Ask yourself, why do I want this? Am I hungry? Am I bored? Am I sad? Am I trying to impress someone? If you can identify the emotion driving the purchase, the urge often disappears. I'm not actually hungry, I'm just stressed. Okay, go for a walk instead of ordering DoorDash. I don't actually need new shoes, I just feel insecure about my appearance. Okay, go to the gym instead of the mall. Fourth, detach your self-worth from your net worth. You are not your bank account. If your bank account goes to 0, you are still a valuable human being. If your bank account goes to 10 million, you are not a god. When you detach your ego from your money, you can make rational decisions. You stop panic selling, you stop impulse buying, you become a cold, calculating investor, and that is how you win. The journey from poor to wealthy is not a sprint, it is a marathon. It requires you to rewrite your brain. It requires you to go against the grain of society. Society wants you to be a consumer, society wants you to be in debt, society wants you to be obedient. To be wealthy is an act of rebellion. It is saying, I will not be a slave to my impulses. It is saying, I will not be a slave to the bank. It is saying, I am the master of my own fate. You have the knowledge, the math of getting rich is simple. Spend less than you earn, invest the difference, and wait. The math is simple, the psychology is hard. But now that you know the traps, you can avoid them. You can stop playing the game of status. You can stop looking for the get-rich-quick scheme. You can stop blaming the world. You can look in the mirror and say, I am the problem, and I am the solution. The psychology of money is the study of you. Master yourself and you will master your money. The choice is yours. You can stay on the treadmill chasing the next paycheck, chasing the next toy, forever hungry, forever tired. Or you can step off. You can build a foundation of rock. You can build a life where money is no longer the source of your stress, but the source of your freedom. Start today. Not with $1, but with a thought. Change the thought and the dollar will follow.